the wonderful world of sports. Radio sports.
We're going to talk Cowboys. That's what we will lead off with. But first, we must tell you about 360 Wealth Management and our guy, Sean Kernan. He says, let me be your money expert. Call me anytime and give me a chance to earn your business. He has a phone number, 469-893-0067. Or you can check out dallasfinancialplanner.net. And, he will help you manage your money.
Something I know absolutely nothing about. I would say my financial literacy right now is about the same as it was whenever I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone like Sean to help me out with these things. Sean at 360wm.net. He also wants us to highlight in these ads, which is a bold move, that he's not that old and not about to die. But that's just cutting right to the chase there.
Yeah.
You're planning for the long term, well, he'll be here. You walk in, you see a guy who looks like he's on the doorstep, he's going to be playing fast and loose with your money. What does he care? It's not Sean Kernan at 360 Wealth Management.
Yeah, he'll help with investments, retirement planning, overall tax efficiency, life insurance, long-term care insurance. He will help you avoid putting all your money into the Cowboys will go 4-0 to start the year as an investment.
That was a tough one.
Remember that?
I think it might have actually been 5.
And he will give your wife or husband someone else to yell at when the market takes a hit. They don't have to yell at you.
That's added value.
So check out dallasfinancialplanner.net. Sean Kernan, good dude.
Well,
so
you guys should try. Talking about these things is fun. We can make fun of it. We can laugh. We can play audio. I'm only halfway through the season, and I got like 8 more columns to write. Writing about it, not so fun. Dan.
What'd you write about this morning?
I don't even remember. But it's at dmagazine.com/sports.
It was about the Cowboys league.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is just it's really weird to remember that they were really good last year.
And the year before and the year before.
Yeah, like their offense was...
They were so good that you were like, there's just no chance they could implode. I mean, but I guess there are little things that add up. Offensive line, for sure. Just the confidence that, hey, because we drafted this rookie and he was good, we'll draft this rookie and it will just work seamlessly. We will let Tyron Smith walk.
Man.
We will.
Yeah.
Why do we need, to shore up the receiver position? The second wide receiver, second and third wide receiver is pretty.
How about a running
pretty
back?
Big question. How about a running back? Yeah, that's where they always kind of overdo it with their
course correction.
Yeah, they're catching up to the rest of the league. Hey, wait. See, at the time, the rest of the league was saying you shouldn't overpay running backs. They were locking up Zeke to a shiny new long-term deal. And then, now they're in it, they're mired in it, and they're like, oh, this was a bad bit. We shouldn't have done that. So let's be like the rest of the league. Running backs don't matter. Well, there's linebackers don't matter. Kickers don't matter. You don't draft a kicker, right? Kickers don't matter. You still got to have one, and it'd be nice to find a good one. So, yeah, that's obviously they corrected the other way with, we'll let all running backs go. We'll hire a guy back just because he was fun and a good guy and good marketing, and we could sell a lot more of his jerseys. There were other guys on the market last offseason. Forget Derrick Henry even. You got Kareem Hunt. You've got other guys who you could have had for much less than Derrick Henry, and they would be much better than Zeke.
Anything would be better than Zeke. But, yeah, I mean, it all goes back to the way that they did the whole CD and Dak deal. Just wait. They were always going to pay him all that money. The fact that they waited to do it until they did, paid him top of the market, giving themselves no flexibility. Like, Tyler Biotish is good in Washington this year. I know he was just kind of a guy, and we're like, oh, God, we're going to move on from this guy. Well, it could get worse, and it did. Tyron Smith has played in every game, which is hilarious. And I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro, but he's been good. maybe they didn't have money for Derrick Henry or even Tony Pollard, who, by the way, are the two rushing leaders in the AFC.
I don't believe that they didn't have money. I believe that they
could
made
have.
themselves not have
Yeah,
money.
they could have
by
had
signing
all of
Dak
that.
and CD late, yeah.
They could have done all that. They could have still drafted an offensive lineman in the first round and gotten and let him get his feet wet. But instead, they decided to make themselves stay in headlines all offseason, which worked, I guess. They paid Dak on the eve of the season. Are you kidding me? They weren't talking about that the day before the season. The whole thing is, it's BS. And now it finally comes home to roost because, well, I think Mike McCarthy's a pretty good coach. He's got a lot of success. He's definitely not the guy you want going to a gunfight with a knife. Like, if you're shorthanded, you know, Shanahan and that whole tree can kind of make it work.
You've never heard that about him. Like, he just out-schemed him.
No.
He just out this.
He's a good coach. But as far as like, hey, we're losing guys and we got to figure it out, his best answer seems to be like, what about Hunter Lipke? Have you heard of him? I mean, I looked it up for the article, and it doesn't make any sense from last year to this year because he was calling plays last year, but it's all the generic fan stuff that we all say. They use way less motion. They've cut their play action basically in half, and people will say, well, you got to be able to run the ball to use play action. That's completely not true. It's been proven not true for about the last decade because we all grow up playing football, if you played football, and if you see a fake, you will take a fake. You will just step forward. It's human nature.
You don't think,
It has
wait,
nothing
they only
to-
have 3.4 yards per carry.
It doesn't matter. It never matters. And they just don't do it. And the problem also is that Dak can't move at all. So if they're not using any play action, he just has to drop straight back. And he looks like the least athletic guy in the league right now. Even on his 22-yard run, it looked like somebody had shot him. And he's one of the least athletic quarterbacks in the league right now, and he will be for the rest of his career because that ain't getting better. It is what it is.
It was the easiest $80 I've ever made. Because last year we didn't have time for it, but Clarence Hill, the offensive coordinator, struck again.
Oh, I know. The rollout? Yeah, I know. I saw our buddy Tim tweet, like, look, Dak's running in this game. Trust me.
They asked McCarthy about it, and they asked Dak about it. And the way Clarence said it to Dak was, hey, can you believe Joe Flacco has more rushing yards than you? And Dak looks at him like, wow, that is bad.
Yeah.
And immediately went to the prop. Dak Prescott rushing yards against the Falcons, 5.5. Minus 120, don't care. Over. And then, he runs for 22. And then hurts himself because he ran.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I
That's
should have
smart
thought
play.
about that, yeah.
This is the one trick Vegas doesn't want you to know.
Yeah, no, anything that hits the media that week,
Find the prop. Yep.
Yeah. It's a good one.
except for
Win the game?
well, no, except for Trayvon Diggs. That hit the media this week, but then they can't work plays for Trayvon Diggs to cover good.
No. No, they can't.
That's often up to the other team, and the other team made him look pretty bad on that one play for sure. That was a fourth down play, right?
Yeah. It was a fourth and it was out of a timeout too.
It was just like 4th and 4, I think.
Yeah, 4th and 4 out of the timeout. The stack where he
Boy, out
lost
of the
wheel.
timeout was
That's
quite
bad.
a theme yesterday.
Yeah.
Because isn't that where they had a fourth down out of a timeout and ran that jet sweep or something that got stuffed?
I
Trying
think
to
so.
remember
the
which
Cowboys?
one.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
after the 3rd and 1 stuff. And yeah, the funny part is that I can't remember the sequence of them, but you might think that Drake London just mossing Diggs was going to be the low point of his day, but it was not, because then he got beat on that wheel. And that is not going to get called for offensive pass interference.
He was playing to sell it. He didn't even try to cover it.
He didn't go
He
under
just
at
ran
all.
into the
or didn't go over at all. Yeah.
He just ran into the muck and got caught up and flailed his arms. Yeah.
McCarthy, after that 4th and 1, so they had that timeout. And the timeout was because they were about to get a delay of game
Yeah.
again. Which I think, didn't that happen out of a time? I don't know, man.
It was one of their 8 pre-snap penalties.
They
for
had
the
a
day.
delay of game after a timeout or after a break.
They also had a false start of the first play of the second half.
First play of the second half.
That's a solid move right there.
So after tons of time to be prepared and ready for a certain play,
You're just antsy. You had to get moving.
time and time again. I mean, if you're in that Atlanta environment, it's the 12th man just screaming. You can't hear a thing. And
No, actually, they're probably pretty chill because they can get sensibly priced concessions. I'm still really into that bit.
Me too.
what do you mean?
Like, that's their deal. It's almost like the Masters.
Really?
Arthur Blank has, what's it called? That one's like Lexus too, right? Or
I don't know the name of it.
Uh,
I'm also enamored that you can buy a Chick-fil-A sandwich there.
yeah. Let's see. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Can I interest you in a classic hot dog for $2?
Really?
You can.
Perhaps a regular soda for $2.
Sure.
Let's see here. So at SoFi, it is $12 for a beer. At Mercedes-Benz, you can get yourself a draft Bud Light for $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is sensible.
Yeah, I mean
There you go, Rob.
They
Just go to Atlanta.
You can afford a beer at a game.
and top of it where it opens up looks like a robot's butthole. That's also true.
Yes.
Look it up. But in any case, the Cowboys committed a lot of pre-snap penalties. And then, yeah, I think you were about to get to the McCarthy tablet.
Yeah, to me, that was his.
Like, I just told him to put the iPad away.
If you're an
That's
old,
his answer.
if you're an old Cowboy fan, I thought it was his no Danny
timer
no
starts going
moment.
off.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the no Danny no moment? That was everybody thought Tom Landry was just this stoic, steady hand on the helm.
Okay, yeah.
That you could never shake him at all. He had seen it all. But I guess Danny White did something wrong, bad, shouldn't have done. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was Tom Landry caught on the sideline yelling, "No, Danny, no," and it looked very un-Tom Landry-like. And not that McCarthy is known for that, but he's also not known for whipping iPads on the ground or whatever the Microsoft iPad is that they want to try and push down our throats. We like the iPad. We like the iPad.
We love it, folks. Yeah, Microsoft can do all they want. Nobody's calling that a Surface.
Yeah.
It's just going to be called an iPad. But, yeah, that
But,
was
yeah, he slammed it down. That was after – so that was the 4th and 1 where CD was stuffed for a big loss.
Yep.
Then –
After a timeout.
Which Greg was great on breaking that down.
Yeah, the whole 2-point, 3-point thing, yeah. The other thing about that, Dan, was that it was just a handful of plays after they had finally forced and recovered a fumble. So you're like, okay, momentum.
yeah, it's only 7-3 at that point.
Yes, Mike, it's time to go to bed.
They needed a
We made a deal.
Yeah. We said 5 minutes. No.
yeah,
go.
so that was their 4th and 1 where they needed a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that was because they were about to have a delay of game. CD gets stuffed. McCarthy slams the iPad down. Then Atlanta, they have a 4th and 3 of their own. Dallas has to get a timeout. And, boy, that was after
Well, there was a hold, too. They picked up a 3rd and 4 easily. Atlanta did. Then there was a hold to make
Diggs
it.
missed a tackle on Pitts, I think.
Oh, big time. He wanted no part of that.
But then they end up getting a 4th and 3, and yes, that's when we get to the Cousins pass to Darnell Mooney.
And somehow, at 14-3 there, the Cowboys scored on the next drive with, I don't know, probably the most Cowboys touchdown of this season with Dak. Like, 4 guys up front missed their block. He's running around, looks like he can't move for 10, 12 seconds.
Almost tackled by his own lineman.
Yes, runs into his own lineman, somehow throws it to Dowdle, who bobbles it in the air and catches it on his back. On that drive, they had a delay of the game and a false start, both on first down, I want to say. Maybe one on second. But they made that as hard as they could. And then somehow the game's still 14-10.
Yeah, 14-10 at halftime. You're getting the ball back. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, false start. Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, this is where we go. False start. First play of the second half. Guyton was hurt. So
I don't know
he's
if it's
out.
a good or bad thing at this point, but yeah.
They were at that point, I believe, 0 for 7 on 3rd and 4th downs in the game. That wouldn't get that much better, by the way.
Not till Cooper Rush time.
Throughout, yeah. It's 4th and 2. And they were on their side of the 50, but not by much, right?
On 38.
4th and 2. Do you consider going for it there or no?
Yes.
Like anywhere from kind of 40 and on?
Atlanta's defense is not good. They just beat up on Dallas.
Dowdle was running okay.
Yeah.
It was amazing timing how they were doing their little information on this Falcons team doesn't really sack the quarterback.
Back
and
to
then
back.
back to back. Here's great
awesome.
40-year-old Grady Jarrett.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's when they do the fake punt. So from your own 38, a fake punt almost gets intercepted. Just a weird, it might have been Adam Amin who said it, not Greg, but right after the play is like, hey, you got to wonder why would you have a punter throw to somebody who doesn't usually catch the ball if you could have a guy who you pay $60 million to throw the ball and guys that you pay $30 million and $10 million and whatever to catch the ball, like put them out there. Wouldn't you think that might convert more often?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but I guess you have to give the benefit of like, hey, they're going to surprise them. Yeah, but and it pains me. The only thing worse for me than is if Brandon misses a kick is if Bones does something really dumb. Because I hate to have to admit it, but
do love Bones.
They have so many insane trick plays that we've seen in practice or at camp or even in games, and that ain't it. That look like what we would do in high school. Like, let's just see if the punter can throw it to a guy who's covered, and hopefully he's able to make a catch.
Boy, he threw like a punter, too.
Yeah, but that's and if you're going to have a guy who throws like a punter, then you want to make it an easy throw. There was no fake. He might have gotten held, but
it was also something Greg was really good on.
The DPI you can't call, but you can call a holding.
Okay.
In any case, that's not going to save you.
Yeah, I didn't know you can't call pass interference on a fake punt.
I didn't either.
Well, I think it's at least within. Maybe it's just because
can you not call offensive pass interference either?
I don't think so. Not until the ball. You probably. No, I guess not. No. But still, there was nothing. There was no play. It was just so let's just snap the ball to the punter and have him throw it. Unless their thought was like what Greg said later about Turpin, which is, hey, their only chance of moving the ball right now is him getting a punt return. Maybe they thought, well, our offense is terrible. Our only shot here is Anger to Goodwin.
Which play?
In any case, the Falcons scored 4 plays later.
Did you guys see? I think it was like Orlovsky on Twitter.
I think I got that with a hard block. Sorry.
You know what I'm talking about, Blake?
I don't think he blocked me. I think I blocked him.
Oh.
You?
Yeah, the second, third down of the game.
I don't like him.
Was it the one where they only had 10 men on the field?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah, his point was you spend a whole day on third down defense. On the second one of the game, they have 10 players on the field.
They were getting warmed up. It was early.
And it might have happened a couple times.
Seems to be a real problem.
They had that 4th and 1 where they had 12 men in the huddle penalty.
Jeez, dude, that's just a change from an attempt to a punt. Awful.
Well, I kind of want to defend Dalvin Cook because I'm sure it's not easy on a player. Okay, practice squad, you're going to suit up for this game. Now you're inactive, and then you're just wishy-washy. You're new to the team anyway.
I don't blame the players for any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's all just poor coaching. But yeah, they wanted to run CD at running back, and no one told Dalvin to get out of the huddle.
False start is one thing. Those type of penalties and delay a game, that's...
I don't know. I felt bad. He looked, just really sad on the sideline, and I felt for him.
Speaking of sad on the sideline, I know, I guess it was Sean Sharif from The Fan that captured it, but just the Dak, it's like early fourth quarter, just him going, man, we fucking suck. It's so funny. So relatable.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah.
Did John Boy get on it?
It's pretty obvious.
You
didn't need John Boy for this one. And the last thing I just wanted to say about guess what I did right today is everybody's doing their defense sucks and they're getting behind, which is true. And they're not able to rush the passer. They're not able to go try to get picks. Not just because Mike is out, Bland's out, Lawrence is out, Sam Williams is out. It's because they've been down. Now they can't run the ball. Between this week and last week, they were not out of either of those games. I mean, they were, but the score wasn't bad. They were able to work like a normal team. I mean, again, it was 14-10 whenever they decided on a 4th and 2, we're going to have to try Brian Anger here. It's not because they're like the Lions game or the Ravens game or the Saints game where they're just getting their teeth kicked in and they have to all of a sudden turn into air it out. Drop back, after drop back. These games are within one score, 10 points, and they still have no answer on offense. And they still have their top 2 pass catchers from last year in Ferguson and Lamb. Are you okay, Camille? Yeah. Sorry, she's dying.
Is she coughing or what?
Trying to hold in a cough.
She did a really good job of holding it in. It was not her fault.
I can't make a noise. I want to be quiet.
I just looked over and was like, are we okay?
Oh, whatever.
Hey, I respect the professionalism, though. It didn't make a noise. I was just kind of worried for you.
I'm vibrating over here.
They still have Lamb and Ferguson, top 2 pass catchers from last year. They still have Dak. They have one of their 2 running backs. Dowdle last year averaged 5.5 a game. This year it's 10 carries. That's not enough for all of a sudden to just be like, well, no chance. They have 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen.
Dowdle looks okay.
He's always looked okay.
He looked good yesterday.
I just think
not a Derrick Henry workhorse or anything, but
no. But what if you had both?
why do they even have Deuce Vaughn? What's the point now?
It was a good video.
He looked good on punt return.
I don't know. I'm with Dez. I just think Zeke needs more opportunities.
What did Dez say? What are you saying?
He had a long string of tweets. Dez is a wild follow on NFL Sundays.
I must have him muted or something. Why don't I see Dez?
He's got a lot. Oh, this is from late in the game. If I'm being honest, the window is closed for a Super Bowl chance with McCarthy.
He's going there.
Um,
Today is Dez's birthday, by the way.
Oh, really?
He's only 36.
Let's see here.
What does one of the Cowboys needs?
Wide
Backup
receiver.
wide receiver.
This is about
Maybe
an hour into the
someone with a
game
little fire in their
yesterday.
belly.
Zeke probably wondering why the Cowboys even bring him back. Season in shambles. Zeke became the scapegoat. Add it up. 1 + 1 = what? That's profound. Use your effing common sense. I'd be frustrated if I was Zeke as well. I probably would have done a lot worse because I know how unfair a lot of this S is, and then signs it with Zeke for president.
What is he saying? So Zeke was late for meetings because it's unfair the way Zeke's being treated? What are we...
Yeah, I mean, they brought him back. Now they're not even using him. So...
He's right. He should have taken one of those other 10 or 12 offers he had around the league to go play somewhere else.
Yeah. Someone says they shouldn't have brought him back. He says he's not a scapegoat. Dez says, I didn't expect Zeke to be a game changer, but he was still going to perform with the right opportunities. And I believe what he means by that is with no one playing defense. If he could simply...
On air,
and
he
again,
looks good.
Blake is right. It's not just no defense, it's on air, because I did see him running through some of those drill things in camp, and he looked like he was having a tough time with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that what a fun way to start the day. Just Zeke's not going.
Yes. That was awesome.
So I can't tell if it was the Cowboys' defense, but Cousins looks really good.
He's been
playing well.
White Dak is...
Yeah. They have an embarrassment of riches if they can get him the ball. I mean, there's not a single player on their team. Well, CD maybe. But you would take any one of them. right?
Obviously, Bijan.
But Algier would be the best Cowboys running back.
Yeah. Well,
Darnell Mooney would be.
They had 3 straight ones with
Yeah.
Pitts, London, Bijan.
Yeah.
So when you suck, you get cool toys.
Yeah.
And then McLeod. Like, I thought he did a great job not telegraphing that touchdown, that one that put him up 21-10.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't like he was looking through his progressions.
He knew.
I feel like he knew. Yeah, he was looking left the whole time. And Dak, I think, will stare down, CD. You know that Dak's thrown to CD. And
Dude, that play where he found Bijan on the run out of the slot or whatever, when's the last time you've seen Dak do that even? Dak tried it and ended up getting ruled out for the rest of the game because his hamstring blew up. And they got the fun thing where, like I said, Atlanta's treating him like a foreign exchange student because he's a white guy. And all the pregame shows had segments where, like Ryan Clark was interviewing him and interviewing all the young guys on the team, and they're laughing at him and they're swag surfing and he's wearing chains and everybody's having a good time. He's quoting rap lyrics.
I hate seeing it.
They're fun.
Yeah, I'm not a.
Why?
Just Kirk Cousins is such a dork.
But that's the comedy of it.
I know, and I know Dak's a dork too, but
That's different, though.
yeah, Kirk is a special kind of dork.
You know how we were saying that Dak is white now?
I remember being present for that conversation. If that's
I think you started it, remember? How white / 30-year-old white guy is it to say, I'm going to start running more and then pull a hammy?
Oh, that's, yeah. It's,
You know what? I think I can get back into flag football. I haven't played in a while.
Speaking of relatable, yeah, no, I think I'm still good. Yeah, it's a bad scene, dude, because they can't move on from him. They wouldn't even if they could.
Then if you're down 14 entering the fourth, how confident do you feel in the Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean,
It's just as far as the other team is going to be able to run the ball and eat clock at that point. And that's what they started doing.
yeah, I mean, what was let me go back to the game log. Wasn't it, I mean, usually in these games, it's like the first play the other team runs.
Actually, they were down 7 entering the fourth, but
you've written about that before, how Dak is not good when he's trailing.
No. This would be funny to go back and look at, though, because it feels like it's every game. But the first play of the game was Bijan for 9. And I'm like, woof, this is over.
we lost.
Yeah, we lost. It's a very we lost moment.
Overshown looked pretty good.
If you have to have some bright spots, yes, Overshown is a fun player.
Which I did go back to, we played this while you were away, but Overshown saying that he hardly ever gets juked because he went against Bijan in practice every day at Texas. He was one of the few defenders that did not look foolish bringing him down.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a solid game. Very, very good game. He just gets way too many opportunities to make tackles because their front is getting detonated.
Aubrey, always a bright spot.
What can he do, folks?
CD Lamb, bright spot because of just gutting through being injured, or is he too demonstrative in letting you know that he's injured?
I don't know. That looked pretty bad, but
he did have he dropped the ball in the end zone, and then my shoulder hurts.
classic Little League move.
The classic, yeah.
All right. Once I saw that didn't go in, I'm going to stay down a little longer here and create a little sympathy. But he did stay out there.
Yeah, no, you can't question that. Is Dak in next week, and does that even matter?
Well, it definitely matters, but I mean, despite their best chance,
Like Cooper Rush looked okay.
He did.
He had like 2 or 3 pretty good balls dropped. Like it
did.
was turpentine to drop this one, and it was.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't care anymore.
Oh,
I mean, if
No,
they
it's-
want to roll Cooper Rush out there,
It's Trey Lance time.
in years past, I would have said that's going to
he
be
doesn't
really annoying
inspire any confidence down over there. Go ahead.
Well, no, I would have been tired of the, hey, Cooper Rush comes in and completes 12 passes for 180 yards, but they win, and then we have to listen to everybody do the, well, it's clear the team believes in him and doesn't believe in Dak. And that would drive me crazy before. Now I'm just like, I don't care. Maybe he is better. I don't know. He might be better right now. Hell, let Dez play quarterback. He's got an arm. Why not?
If Trey Lance gets any time and he keeps read option or runs for 16,
just
that
get
chatter
ready.
will start.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a free agent.
Could bring him back.
The whole thing is just absurd. The Trey Lance thing. Just looking at him over there on the sidelines, I get pissed off. But again, now I just don't care. The Pats are 4-2. I hear the hockey team is doing well. But
Dropped one in Finland, though.
all reports, both of them in Finland, buddy. They were both very close games, or at least competitive games. But you don't just go to Finland and take one from Florida, okay, pal?
Florida, the Finland's team.
Yeah,
It's good that you knew.
I did.
I knew they were in Finland.
Well, I mean, well,
Go on.
I guess it's too late. Well, I was going to try to figure out a way to pose to see whether or not you know who won the Stanley Cup last year.
I know it wasn't the Stars.
That's correct.
And that's all I care about.
Am I wrong, or was it not Florida?
The team of Finland. Finland's team. Yeah.
But at that point, I thought it would be too easy for you if I was like,
The national team of Finland.
That's right.
I remember Edmonton being in it
It's,
because of the flashing girl.
yeah.
Y'all remember her?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all coming
That's when I
back to
found
me.
out that
Wonder what
Playboy
she's
still
doing here.
existed and sucks.
Did they pay her to
Yeah.
But
to
there's
flash him in Playboy?
no. She showed more in an NHL game than she did in Playboy. It was tasteful. By the
Yeah,
way, you
there's
guys know Hawk Tua's Girl podcast is like huge now.
Dude. It's
Like legitimately huge.
Do you know what it's called?
Talk to
Talk to her? Okay.
It's really good.
I like it.
It's really good.
Pretty good.
Is it actually a good podcast to listen to?
I've heard it
Or it
in
just
like
has a lot of-
10-minute clips, and honestly, she's got something.
Yeah?
It pains me
Well,
to say.
she's a character. She's funny.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like a lot of those people we talk about, like that you would find in a news story in the background. If you were able to just focus that,
So we blaze the trail for Hawk Tua.
yeah, she's got something.
Personality goes a long way.
Yeah.
She's got it.
My mom was a crackhead.
Here, I want to play you some Jerry audio. It's brought to you by Lone Star Beer and Lone Star Light. Celebrating 140 years of brewing in Texas. Lone Star Beer, the national beer of Texas. I'm not sure if they would say Lone Star Light is the national beer of Texas. But Lone Star Light is the official beer of my tiny little fridge up here in the den. Because that's what I always drink. Probably have a couple of those tomorrow night when we do some election coverage.
Oh, yeah.
But certainly next Cowboy game. I think we're here for a couple Cowboy games in a row now. They are authentically Texan, and they have awesome merch.
They do. They
Jake
do. I'm
actually
going to order
went to
another
the-
one.
You went and bought a T-shirt on the website?
This is very solid.
LoneStarBeer.com. If you use the code DUMBZONE21, you get 21% off your merchandise. Must be 21 or over to purchase. So you can go buy some of that. Use that merch code, and next time you're out, you need to grab a case. Grab Lone Star Beer or Lone Star Light. Thank you, Lone Star
Yeah.
Beer.
I just wanted to add, if you when
the
you go buy some
collaboration.
Lone Star and you're enjoying it, take a picture and send it to Blake and Dan on social media with a tag hashtag Lone Zone.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love that.
yeah. Or if you have a Lone Star shirt,
Lone Zone.
yeah.
Okay. And we'll send it to them, and they'll be like, hey, cool, this is great.
Right. Why didn't we think of that? The Lone Zone.
Yeah. Maybe they'll change their name. We can only dare to dream. So Jerry
Disheveled Jerry.
spoke after the Cowboy game on the road.
Yeah, really weird. I was kind of hoping this would happen a couple times this year, like as things were getting really bad. Like, man, he's got to go down there at some point and just
So he
raise a
doesn't
little
usually do
hell.
the road thing.
No, unless it's the last game of the year. Like I saw him do it in Washington, Pat.
Maybe he had to show Arthur Blank, hey, look, you might have this cool stadium and the cool pricing and stuff, but look how the media just flocks around me, man.
Yeah,
They love it. I also think he went into the locker room and gave a speech
He did.
it appears that was the case.
because he's thinking this big fat guy he hired ain't doing it right. So I have marked 6 things in here, and we can go through these. He was very emotional.
He looked like he had either just gotten done crying or was about to cry.
We've always talked about, does he know all the players' names? Does he with this?
And I was proud of the way the guys competed out there. A lot of the guys really proud of them. Like the way that running back played the game tonight. Give him some love because he played hard and he played good.
He just knows he's non-Zeke.
I know the guy that's not Zeke and not related to our scouting guy, the tiny one.
Little fella.
I'll go chronologically because here he hints towards something on the horizon.
I have seen too many times, though, when this thing gets to look dark, I've seen the positive jump up there and go from there. So, personally, I'm a long way from being dismayed about our team, about this year. Not dismayed. I'm concerned. We should be concerned. We'll probably do a couple of things this week of note, but if things work out the way we'd like for them to. But bottom line is that if you knew exactly what to do, then this wouldn't be the game it is in the NFL. Those guys out there.
Okay. So that's what I wanted you to hear.
Did he actually say of note? It sounded like he said a couple things of note.
Concerned. We should be concerned. We'll probably do a couple of things this week of note, but if things work out the way
Said
we'd
it really
like,
weird.
I think he
but
said
yeah.
of note, yeah.
Yeah, because doesn't he at some point kind of say it's not like anything like Amari or something or other?
Well, he
know.
will address it again later, but
Okay.
I was upset that the media didn't jump on that right then. But they did jump on Zeke not being here, as if that's the problem with this team. That wasn't even him not being active is like not affecting them winning or losing in any way.
I would disagree.
Unless it's more positive.
I would say when he's not there, Dowdle has more chances.
But it's not like you're like, oh man, this really hurt the team. Zeke inactive. Did that?
Oh.
It kind of illustrates. Anyway, they were asking about Zeke.
well, it was a decision that Zeke understands, and so that's the way he is. And he's one of the best team men. He's one of the best workers that I've ever been around. And he was just that and has been that. And that was unconditionally a result of him being late for meetings.
Jerry, if you're not dismayed,
What?
So, unconditional. It was a result of being late for meetings. But it's also funny just how he initially responds to a Zeke question is like, look, best teammate, best locker room guy you could ever have. He's awesome. Like, he loves Zeke. Mm-hmm. That's why Zeke is here.
Do you want to hear Dak real quick on Zeke?
Yeah.
Because, of course, he had to be asked about it.
As a leader on a team and good friends with Zeke, just how difficult these last 48 hours or so have been, and how do you hope...
Was that Dak doing that?
I was going to say, and yes, he is doing nervous hand rep.
...him and the team going forward in the next few days?
Definitely a difficult situation. Me personally, being as close as I am with them, wanting to help, and I think this, if anything, this it will be good. And I say that as obviously it was a mutual decision for him to not take this trip. Whether it's as he had said, just getting himself together, and I'd like to just see us rally around him, be the teammates and the brothers that we are, and good will come from it.
Dude.
Okay, I'm very confused. He talked the way he laid that out. It was like Zeke just went to rehab.
Yeah, he's going through a hard time.
Like he sees, and he's trying to get things right. But mutual decision.
That's how they tweeted it. That's how the report was tweeted out.
A mutual decision on his suspension.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like because it's not really a suspension. But it's like,
I mean, demotion. It's
so maybe they did call it a suspension, but it's just funny to go to your boss. Your boss comes to you and you're like, it doesn't seem like you've been coming to work. And you're like, I haven't. What are we going to do? And like, we think you should continue to not come to work. And you're like, I agree.
They have mutually.
Is it mutual? I'm going to keep not coming in. Then you just don't. He's a all-time grifter. I love it. I actually respect Zeke.
Let me jump up to the I'll go out of order here. This is kind of at the end of Jerry's media sesh last night where he gives more Zeke support.
Well, you just, we have rules. You run red lights, you do things like that. I can't emphasize enough what an exemplary teammate that Zeke is, and I want to be real clear about that. But he's, in my mind, he's what a football player is all about. But this was a discipline thing. But by the way, did that Rico come in here and I thought had a
He got Rico's
really impressive night tonight. Proud for him. He's worked hard.
All right, we'll change the subject there. But basically, look, Zeke is great. What are you guys talking about? Why you keep asking me about Zeke? He's awesome. Jerry, they demoted. They made him inactive, and he stayed in Dallas. Even he didn't travel with the team. This great teammate who's such a room guy. And why do you guys keep bringing up this Zeke thing? He's an exemplary.
Dude, I bet he had an awesome day yesterday.
Playing Call of Duty all day.
Now, okay, they didn't do it right away when he kind of hinted toward like a trade deadline move. But they did follow up on that later.
Jerry, what'd you say to the team?
We might do something this week.
We could, yes. It takes to tango, but we've.
I laughed at that too.
We get it. We got the.
Yeah.
We know what he was going for.
Right. It's still funny.
Yes, it takes to tango, but we've got some things in the middle.
But that's an example. That's another sign that you're still looking for some positives this year.
Well, we're gonna, ladies, we're gonna.
The funny thing is, I mean, again, let's if they're behind the rest of the league, like any of the top names available for trade,
the ship has sailed.
Kind of have been moved on. Yeah. If indeed that Cooper Kupp thing was real, I think the Rams are kind of coming together to where they're like, I think we could win this division. We're not going to
why not?
Be getting rid of Cooper Kupp or anything. How many?
There were plenty of other things they could have been involved in.
How many other teams have already made their moves? It's funny. We always criticize them for being so late to the game. And when they try to get ahead of the game, they trade Amari Cooper for a 4th rounder or a 5th rounder 2 months before the rest of the NFL decides the wide receiver position is actually valued much greater than that, and other teams are getting 1st and 2nd rounders for their star wide receivers.
I was all about the cap, though.
We're going to do everything we can at all times to improve this team, and in our judgment, if what you have to give up helps improve it, we'll do it. I know everybody understands. I don't think I have to say it, but we'll go for it.
Jerry, are you still all in on 2024? Are you still all in on 2024?
Well, I am, and that's you'd say, boy, this thing's looking pretty bleak right here. But candidly,
bingo.
I've seen situations that look bleak turn around, and we've got a daunting schedule ahead of us. This was a game against a good Atlanta team, but a winnable game for us. Very disappointed for our fans and for our players and everybody involved. The guys that need to really take.
Okay, let me fast forward one more for you. He's asked about the big man, Mike McCarthy. And I thought he had an interesting reason for supporting Mike McCarthy here.
Frankly, some of the best coaches that I've been around, I got to see them when times were bad. We came in here with Herschel Walker playing for us our first year and we hadn't won anything. They were all out of here to see Herschel. And that guy took it and went to the house with it a few times, our coach there. So I've had experience of
Does this sound like your grandpa telling you a story that is not relatable anymore.
Jeez,
Just
yeah. I mean, the situations are so different.
Can you keep dipping into the Herschel Walker well that things were bad with Jimmy at one point, but
yeah.
Okay, you had to trade your superstar,
and
though.
It'd be one thing if boy, that's a good point. It'd be one thing if he just said this stuff, but they actually operate that way. You know what I mean? It's not just that he says, oh, back in my day, we were able to. He actually still thinks that somehow there's magic dust on the Cowboys that, the gods are going to smile upon them because there's a star on their helmet. And all these other teams actually just do work. I hate this. I do, man.
Did he ever talk about what he said to the team?
No, he didn't get specific. I don't know if you wanted to. It's not worth, yeah. He's just like, just the deal of, hey, I've told them I've been down before, too.
Okay. Well,
I've been kicked when I'm down before, too.
They asked all the players, what did Jerry say in the locker room? And nobody really said anything, but Rico Dowdle did give like a little hint at what he talked about, and I have no idea what Jerry could have been saying.
Did you appreciate some of the things that Jerry said to the guys in here? He said he got emotional with this stuff.
Oh, yeah. He was telling us about a story back, basically going into it all ties into what we're going through now. Just got to keep fighting, and the table will turn. It's just a matter of winning, going out there and keep fighting and getting it done. He told us a story about Michael Irvin back a couple years in training camp, but yeah.
When he stabbed his teammate in the neck?
It probably wasn't that. Probably wasn't the haircut story.
Yeah, that came at the end of the run.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was it about the cocaine and the hookers?
Yeah, that everybody thought he was done, and then he came back. Who the hell
Getting busted with drugs, maybe?
I mean, at first, before he mentioned the playmaker, I thought he was refreshing the credit card story.
Let me tell you about a magical place called the White House.
Yes. You guys aren't going to believe it.
It's amazing. They got caught for that, and then they went out and won a Super Bowl.
You guys can't do anything. You're over here with Dude Perfect, and you're 3-5.
Yeah. All right, well, let's hear audio from the game after we take a short break. If you are watching our live stream,
don't hang up.
Yeah, we'll be back in a little bit, and if you're listening later, well, then we'll be back very soon. All right, Cowboy audio.
Well, first we have some news. You remember how we were like, oh, every week, haha, can it get worse? Well, it's being reported now initially by Ian Rappaport.
Uh-oh.
And I say initially because I had to learn it from Tom Pelissero because, in this case, yes, Ian Rappaport does have me blocked. That Dak's injury, worse than first expected, he will miss multiple weeks. Decision has not been made yet whether or not to place him on IR. Trey Lance. Let's go.
Is Micah Parsons the second best running back on the roster? Give us a call.
Ooh, no, because you got to throw in like CD. Probably.
You ever see Micah Parsons' video of him as a running back in high school?
I have.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
It's very good. No, he was in high school, and he was playing against high school kids. Anyway, those kids are now the same age as Micah Parsons, so if you think of it that way.
They're it's beyond over.
Is it all over? Does this get McCarthy a nice extension? It's not his fault.
Yeah, they're still right there.
It's Dak. Dak got injured. What are you going to do?
I mean, technically, when Dak got hurt, they were 3-4, right there.
What are you going to do? Just snake bit, man. Just snake bit. I mean, who could win without their starting quarterback? No team has ever won games after their starting quarterback goes down.
The Eagles did.
Oh, they won the Super Bowl. Gosh darn it.
We play the Eagles this week.
Anyway.
They're going to start Cooper Rush.
This week?
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's boring.
It'll take a couple for him to play his way out of that one. Or maybe he'll rally.
So we had the Fox B team yesterday, which is third leg Greg.
Yep.
Adam Amin and just a rough Pam Oliver. Just not the old Pam Oliver. that we have seen in the past.
It's like the words like fall out of the bottom of her mouth.
Jeez.
I feel like she has fake teeth.
Yeah.
But Dirk has fake teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in a unisex bathroom together, and they were both they both had taken them out, but they put them in the wrong. Like she grabbed the wrong one. They're too. It doesn't fit her mouth right.
She's got Dirk teeth,
and she's trying to talk over them. And plus, if you add, as you know, Jake, if you add medication, to whatever's going on, I just thought that she was.
Well, the weird thing about it is.
Yeah, Adam, word on Falcons receiver Drake London. The Falcons tell me London has a hip pointer. He is listed as questionable to return. You see him on the bike. He's going to try to give it a go, but it's not all on him.
It's tough. It's much like with the Cowboys right now. It's really tough to pinpoint exactly what's going wrong. I mean, there is that video of the one time she got drilled in the head with a football. But I don't feel like that could keep you in the protocol for 13 years. And maybe she did have a TBI, and it's just she's going to keep working. Sometimes it does sound like medication, which definitely can be a problem, but we're like pretty deep into this now. We're in feel bad for her mode, but not feel bad enough not to play it.
Yeah, injury update for you, Adam. For the Falcons, defensive lineman Grady Jarrett is out with an Achilles. He was up and walking around when I saw him. Falcons say it's a precautionary move.
Yeah, you know, you're onto something with the teeth thing, because you know how, I guess sometimes at the dentist they'll give you, like the deal you bite on that really kind of gives you that.
Yeah.
Grady Jet, and then you have to,
you have mouth's open around it. Yeah.
Right, you have to.
You ever talk to your dentist when you have that in your mouth? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where it feels like we are.
This was interesting.
So according to our friends at Unnecessary Sports Research, today was Pam Oliver's 96th career Dallas Cowboy broadcast as part of this Fox team, and Jerry Jones himself coming over to deliver an honorary jersey to our intrepid reporter and one of the best to ever do this job.
What? Why would you do it at broadcast 96? You don't go round numbery?
I was extremely confused by the entire situation.
My thought was because Jerry knows he won't be here for 100.
Or she won't be here for 96.
Yeah, did Fox tell him, look, she ain't here next year. Have you listened to her? Let's honor her now. Get the jersey now.
It's very possible. I mean, they got to pay Brady $25 million a year somehow.
To our intrepid reporter and one of the best to ever do this job, the great Pam Oliver. Just a pleasure to work with every single week. We appreciate you, Pam.
Thank you. Thanks so much. That was an unexpected surprise and so cool. Thank you, guys.
Really appreciate you, Pam.
I feel like I am in my mid-20s. So for that number to be thrown around, I'm kind of judging and questioning that. Come on.
No judgment, my friend. Just wonderful to work with you.
You don't sound like you're in your 20s.
Yeah, I was confused by everything there. The jersey also said 30. I don't know what the
30 and holding.
Did it say 30?
Yeah.
It didn't say 96?
Man, unless I'm just completely misremembering I'm pretty sure it said.
Lady would get offended if you gave her a 96 jersey, right? Even if she was skinny. It's just a big man's jersey.
Right, yeah. So you play the one tech.
Yeah.
Put you inside. But yeah, questioning the judgment. I mean, that wasn't just verbalizing it poorly. That was confusing word choice. Yeah, it's just everything went wrong there. I do like that song though.
Yeah?
Yeah. You get a solid playlist when they're in Atlanta, whoever it is.
Why do they pander?
Well, I kind of like this because she's talking to McCarthy at the beginning of the is this the third?
Mike, we saw an offense determined to run that football. Dak using his legs. What's encouraging about that?
Well, that's the way we want to play. I mean,
okay, but I'm just going to fast forward to the end because the funny part's at the end.
Make sure we got clean calls, got the substitutions, and keep the pace operation rolling.
Mike, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
False start.
Yeah. Yeah, the Riders really knocked that one out of the park.
First play. So here's what I think about Adam Amin. I'm not really familiar with his game. I couldn't even tell it wasn't Brohard and Third Leg Greg, unless I would think about it. I think Brohard has become the number one play-by-play voice, and I believe other guys are now, kind of like Kevin Harlan. If you used to listen to, who's the guy that wore panties on his head?
Marv Albert.
Yeah, Kevin Harlan just
prostitute.
Imitates Marv Albert on the air, apparently not off the air, or is better at covering it up. So, like, if you used to listen to Marv Albert and then this new guy comes along, it was like, oh, clearly, like, he thinks this is going to get me to the top, and then it did. And I feel like we're now becoming, we got to bro down. We got to throw it to, let's see.
P.O. Down on the sideline?
No,
I don't think they threw it to P.O.
No, but CT.
Tackle made by Jordan Lewis, 3rd and long coming up, and so is Carissa Thompson with a game break, CT.
Yeah.
He likes throwing it to CT.
Yeah.
Here, Blake found this. I didn't even note this one. But he shortens a word.
Big story for the Falcons defense has been the lack of pass rush. This is a little bit of a not stress-free game for Dallas, but less stress than facing when he was healthy Aiden Hutchinson. Nick Bosa last week for San Francisco. Can this defense generate takeaways and sacks? Jesse Bates has been a big reason why they can generate takes on the back end.
No one says takes.
Man rush, Prescott.
No,
even Third Leg Greg won't.
I'm not letting you get away with that. There's a lot of football terms and
listen. We got to force takes.
Saying teams instead of special teams, but no, we're not saying force takes.
Greg is good.
Yes, yeah. I miss him, except for the fact that Brady's really good now.
Yeah, but I don't. He's good, but yeah, it's not like, oh man, this guy should be elevated. He's so good. It was just like, he's good. He points out some good stuff. I like him. But we did notice this last year, and it continues, where sometimes he can't pronounce a certain letter.
The leading tackler for Atlanta, especially without Troy Anderson missing another game.
Yeah, take a look here. Zach Martin, he has Ellis. If Dowdle can just stay on the inside, see the phase here, he just gets out too fast. Bad landmark there by Martin.
That was a bad one.
We mentioned Cowboys starting 2 rookies. One of them's the left tackle, Tyler Guyton.
Man. Now we got 2
It's
linemen.
going to be an interesting decision. Grady Jarrett with great penetration, and it's 4th and short.
And this is just a mix-up. The rookie Guyton.
Man.
Getting worse.
Back to a little more Amin. This is where I again, he's Kevin Brohard light. He's trying to be Brohard. Even, do you remember this thing that Brohard would do?
Undercut by Carson for a few yards. Defensive line has had injuries all year, right? DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt.
He does right.
Right.
He does right a lot, I think. He also, I don't know what age he is, but he's got to act younger or hipper.
Aubrey makes it a 4-point game. 3 15-plus yard runs on the drive. And Prescott ends it with the score in Atlanta, the home of Outcast. Stankonia came out this week 24 years ago. Dowdle the touchdown.
Bundele.
Bundle.
And the last one I have, unless you want to, I want to end with Menifee, unless you think we should end with yours, Blake. I don't even know why you put this full long. What's the last one you put in? The no Dak, no Lamb thing. What is that? This amuse you?
No. I was just a big fan of DiNucci time equals punt time immediately. And so I think we have a new one.
Okay.
So if you want to play the full first.
No Prescott, no Lamb. It's Rush on 4th down. Throwing it up top, and it's dropped by Cavante Turpin. D. Alford came in to jar it loose, and it's a turnover on downs, and the Falcons are feeling it.
Okay, so that's the full context.
Number one is this.
No Prescott, no Lamb. It's rush.
Which means?
Drop by Cavante Turpin, and it's a turnover on downs.
So without Dak, maybe for the next few weeks, this is what we can expect.
Or a rally, folks.
And we threw it to Kurt Menefee.
I'm a big fan of Menefee, but this should not be allowed. This is an FCC
No
violation.
For Prescott. We'll check in with Kurt Menefee, seeing what's coming up at half.
Well, I hope your body clocks are set for the Verizon halftime. We'll shine some daylight on the biggest plays, and the guys are saving their best analysis. Plus, we'll make sure you have time to get ready for America's game of the week between the Lions and the Packers. TB and the gang got an extra hour's sleep, so you know it'll be good. We'll see you at halftime.
Hope you enjoyed the extra hour too, my friend.
Boy, did I enjoy that extra hour so much, enjoying it.
What a dork.
Yeah, I just...
What'd you guys do with your extra hour?
Oh, my God. I'm so glad I don't work in an office today.
Well, you must have been up at like 2.
Both today and yesterday, my friend.
Yeah.
It felt like
2:13 today.
The video game equivalent of scoring before the half and then getting the ball out of half when you're playing until 2 a.m. and then you see it go back to 1 a.m. Like, okay, got another hour here.
We did get a couple of bartender emails and said that was a bottom 3 night of the year.
They hate it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're going to make a little more, but...
Right. We would always be screaming at him, man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get it, man. It's legally 1 a.m. right now, and you're saying it's closed.
Legally.
Yeah.
I wonder who we have this week. Cowboys Eagles. Will that be
still going to be big?
No, but I'm saying, will it be TB big without Dak?
It'll be AA and 7th Floor Crew.
They might not even be the B game, dude.
Cowboys Eagles?
No Dak.
Cowboys Eagles.
They're going to be 3-8 in a couple weeks.
What do they have? Eagles?
Washington's coming up, and the Texans. It's Eagles, Texans, Washington, I'm pretty sure. In a Monday night Texans game, which we will be streaming for.
I think we're streaming this weekend, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the next
Should we just stop streaming?
No.
Should we stop living?
No, just keep STREAMING, man.